I want to segue from that into a show called The Outsider that I was watching on HBO. It stars Jason Bateman and I can't remember anyone else. I'm really sorry, but Jason Bateman stars in it and also directs the most of the episodes. I would say 4 episodes. I guess he directs it. It's based on a novel by Stephen King. It is very, I would say it's very interesting. Now, the reason why I want to talk about The Outsider is it's just, I'm on episode 8 right now and I can't finish it. Not only that I can't finish it, I just, every time I play it, I pause it or I stop it or I move on to something else. Like I said, I watched Logan Lucky. The reason being is because I just did not want to watch the show anymore. I just wanted to move on to something else. And I didn't want to start a fresh show. I just wanted to make sure I finish it because I've come this far. And I've started to realize that I've started skipping most of the scenes from this show. Like I've started skipping ahead most of the time, and it really, really breaks my heart because the pilot of The Outsider was so good. The pilot of The Outsider was intense, amazing. Even the second episode, I would say, is good. But there is a moment that happens in episode 2. I don't want to spoil anything. But there's a moment that happens in episode 2 where you're like, oh, did that really happen? Did that really happen? And then once that moment happens and you kind of register, okay, we're here, we're in unfamiliar territory right now. After that, the show kind of went downhill for me. It just went downhill ever since that moment. And I'm like, I was not ready for it. And I don't think it was a good idea, to just whatever, to take to whatever. I don't want to say anything anymore. So I'm just going to, I don't want to recommend the show anymore because it pissed me off because the same kind of thing happened with me on another Stephen King adaptation called 11/22/63. I heard amazing things about the novel. So when there was a show with, I think, James Franco as the lead, I was like, wow, this is going to be great. It was great up until the pilot. And then the second episode rolled out and this exact same thing happened. And I really hate when a show becomes this underwhelming for me. It pisses me off. And another thing I started to notice about the show is that the soundtrack is good, the shots are great, the actors are great, but they could have cut it down. They could have crammed it down to about 6 episodes. I think this is about like 10 episodes long. They could have crammed it to 6 episodes. There are some lingering scenes of just shots of like, I don't know what, I don't want to spoil anything, but like eating or talking or just showing something, but it's just unnecessarily drawn out. It's unnecessarily slow and long. The pacing is just so, I just pissed off every time. Like there are things like The Witch out there that are like people complain that it's slow, but it's really not. The Outsider just feels so slow. It's like in comparison to other TV shows, horror shows, movies, this one is such a miss for me. I feel really bad because I want to finish it, but I don't know if I will. But I really do want to get to the ending and know what happens, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I won't recommend it to anyone, but if someone wants to watch it because Jason Bateman's in it, sure. And I'm really pissed off at Rotten Tomatoes because Rotten Tomatoes gave this a very high rating. The critics gave it a very high rating. And most of the time I agree with Rotten Tomatoes, but this time I heavily, heavily disagree. It's like, I'm gonna have to stop listening to Rotten Tomatoes from now on because they've been a little freaky with the ratings recently. They've rated some things really good when it's like average, when they've rated some things that are really whatever, that are really, that are good movies, and they've rated it like bullshit ratings, so I don't know what's going on with that site. It doesn't even open on my desktop, whatever. But I guess I'm gonna end it there. I'm not gonna bore anyone with a longer episode this time since I've been away. I don't want the new viewers to get, be like, what the fuck is going on, and I don't want the old viewers to get bored and go away. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope I didn't waste your time. See you next week.